Would you rather live in the sky or would you rather live under the sea?
Oh, under the sea for sure. I say like I have my scuba license, so I think that's pretty cool. So I think like living under the sea with all the fish is pretty nice.
Okay, tell us about how you got your scuba license. That's pretty cool.
So my dad grew up in Florida and everything, so he's really like into the whole ocean and sea stuff, and so my grandparents. And so I think one time we went there and they're just like, "Hey, you want to get scuba certified?" And I was like, "Sure." And then that was a lot of fun for me. So I think I'd rather just be under the sea.
So you touched on your dad a little bit. I want you to tell me about your dad. Your dad is an athlete himself, motocross, raced that when he was younger. It was cool to meet him at first to hear that because obviously he's a cool guy. What kind of role has he had on your life and obviously both your parents, but your dad in particular?
He's taught me to be hardworking because growing up he really didn't have much, and he grew up in a small town in Florida. He went to a small community college. He tried to work his way up. And I think that him being the youngest child and always being like the one behind, he's taught himself how to be hardworking. And so I think every time he's around me, he always teaches me that, hey, no matter what, even though if you're like the worst or the best, you always need to keep the strongest work ethic because that's going to make you improve the most.
You seem to be very close with your family in general, your grandparents, aunts, uncles, your parents, obviously. How does that influence you as a player and someone that wants to live not only a great life, but to get a great degree and have a great soccer career?
I think it always inspires me to have someone to fall back on. It always pushes me forward. Because even though like I might fail or not succeed or maybe not do my best, I can always have a family who will support me and keep me going.
Very good. Give me 1 sec, and then we'll do this last little section. Very good, man. You're nailing it. Keep going. Good job. Good job. All right, back to the fun questions. All right. So, would you rather give up eating candy for the rest of your life? Or give up eating fast food for the rest of your life?
Give up eating candy. I love fast food. I used to work at a fast food restaurant as well, so I think I can't give that up.
All right, tell us about that, because you're going to be a famous college soccer player one of these years, so you got to give credit to where you worked back in the day.
So I worked at Jersey Mike's, so I can make a pretty good sandwich. I consider myself a sandwich professional at this point.
That's good. I like that. So you're a sandwich professional. You learned it at Jersey Mike's. Shameless plug for Jersey Mike's. at Jersey Mike's. There you go. Okay. Would you rather it be warm and raining or cold and snowing?
Warm and raining. I don't like the cold weather that much, but I mean I love the mountains and everything. I love the view. The cold weather is just not my thing.
All right, so if you had the opportunity to go play at a school where it was primarily cold weather, that would be something you'd certainly be open to.
I'd definitely be open to play anywhere I could. So cold weather, I would just dress up and go out there and have fun.
All right, last question, Caden. You're obviously a great kid. You've done well academically. What is really the overall goal for you in life? Like, what do you really want to do? What do you want to accomplish? And how do you feel that LPG obviously is going to not only help you get there, but your club coaches, your high school coaches, everyone that's involved to try to help you earn a college scholarship? If it was a perfect world for you, how does everything look when it's all said and done?
So I don't really have a specific vision of where I want to be when I'm older, but I just want to do something I love. So obviously I love soccer right now, and I like how LPG is letting me continue my soccer career on the college level. And I think that as long as I just have a job and a family, something I love, and I'm happy, I think that's where I want to be.
Pretty well. So what do you attribute that to? Because that's not an easy score to get.
I like to thank kind of my school. We had a good math program growing up, and my parents always kept me motivated in that. I think that kind of got me to go to learn more about math and be really inspired by that. And so that kind of caused me to take an interest, and I think I attribute that to my math score.
Have academics always been important to you?
Mm-hmm. My parents have always told me that I need to keep my academics first and my sports second, and so in doing so, they really taught me to take school seriously and keep that number one.
So tell me about your parents.
My parents. So my mom and dad, they both met in Washington D.C. Came down here, and we thought we weren't going to live here long. We were initially supposed to stay for a little bit, and then they kind of introduced me to all types of sports growing up. Like I played baseball, football, and soccer, and then eventually I kind of just grew into playing soccer. I didn't really like the other sports, and that kind of inspired me to become the player I am today. They kind of kept me in the soccer program, even though sometimes when I was little I wanted to quit. They still inspired me to stay in, and I'm very thankful for them to teach me to stay persevering and hardworking.
What would you tell your younger self, maybe those times that you did want to walk away from the sport? What would be a piece of advice you'd give yourself?
I just want to probably tell myself that like I was just having fun at the time, because there were multiple times where like I had some friends who quit soccer and they were like some of my good friends, and I just wanted to quit too, just because like I thought it was too much for me. But in reality, like this is soccer's like something I love, and I wouldn't want to give that up. So I just want to tell myself to it all pays off in the end.
What would you tell a younger prospect that is looking to play varsity soccer, have success at the varsity level like you have? What would you tell maybe a freshman or a sophomore that's trying to make the team?
I'd say just keep working hard, because it's easy to get discouraged when you're younger, because there's a lot of kids better than you. And I was in the same experience when I was a freshman. Like there were seniors who I thought were amazing, and I was just a freshman. I thought that I couldn't really do that, but I just kept on focusing on myself and working hard. And I think the hard work eventually pays off, because you're able to develop yourself as a player.
What should college coaches know about Caden Marchione's game?
I'm a very physical player and strong. I don't really back down from anything. I would say that most of the challenges that are 50-50 balls are on my side. I tend to usually win them, and I usually fight hard. I don't like losing, so I like playing hard and having fun.
Some of the schools that you've targeted are very academically minded. They're very academically strong. You being at Prince of Peace High School, that's obviously something that you focused on, is the academics. When did you know that you were going to excel in the classroom, and what keeps you motivated to continue to do so?
So after my freshman year, I kind of realized that I needed to take this seriously, because I was kind of at the top of my class. And so throughout the class, I started studying really hard and teaching myself like studying techniques and how to excel in my classes. And so now, like as a junior, it can get really rough with like a lot of standardized testing and a lot of AP classes and things. And what really keeps me motivated is playing soccer, because I really want to play at the next level, and keeping myself at a high academic standards opens up a lot of opportunities. So by having myself play hard off the field and that translating to working hard off the field as well in the classroom, I think that really keeps me motivated.
What has your experience been like with LPG and having someone in your corner to help you with your college recruiting process?
I think it's helped a lot with my confidence, because going in alone, I was anxious about what's my future going to hold. And I think having someone just to back me up and stay behind me helps me stay confident, and helps me be aware that like I have the ability to be a college player, and I can go on to play the next level.
So tell me about your LPG rep, Katie Heap. I know that you guys have built a strong relationship. She's obviously playing professionally, but having built that relationship prior to her going to play, obviously, you know, it's important to continue to develop that relationship. Mm-hmm. What's the communication been like with your rep, even though she's an active professional player?
We've been communicating really well. I thought she keeps me like motivates me to keep on working out and everything like that. Because when I first joined, I wasn't really sure like what should I do and what should I focus on. But she's done a good job of telling me, hey, like these are the issues you need to fix and how to improve those. And I think it's really improved my confidence as well.
All right, so talk to me about what you're looking to improve on in the next year, let's just say, because obviously our goal for you at LPG is for you to make a decision on where you're going to go to school within sometime in the next 12 months. We want to make sure that we know where you're going. So what do you think that your goals are for the next year, and what do you want to improve on in order to make that scholarship happen here in the next 12 months?
So on the field, I would probably say I need to improve on my touches with the ball and everything like that, because I think as like growing up as a defender and a defensive mid, like what really would separate me as being a defender is having great ball control. So not many defenders have that. So I've been working a lot with myself in the backyard, just doing a lot of small drills, and then I also every week I go to this program called Searley Soccer Factory, where I work on a lot of my touches and drills and everything like that, which I've seen in the last 2 months. I've seen a lot of improvement in that area. And I'd say off the field academically, I really want to improve probably my math field, just so I can go into a system of engineering or business or even the medical field, just keep my options open.
Do you know exactly what you want to do at the college level, what you want to study? I know you just mentioned a few things. Is there a specific focus that you want to look into, or are you keeping your options open as to what you specifically want to study?
I would like to keep my options open right now. I preferably want to have like a major in probably engineering or even a medical major, but I also want to have a minor in economics or business, just so I can always keep the options open later on in the future.
Talk to me about your high school, Prince of Peace. Again, we've talked about it before. It's a very successful program. How have they helped in your development as a soccer player?
So under Coach Tattoo, who's a former professional for the Dallas Sidekicks, he's telling me a lot about like how to move off the ball and how to play simple and also play complicated at the same time. And he's telling me just to keep my head strong as a player and how to like pick your fights on the field, like mentally and everything like that.
So having a professional player as your coach, having a professional player in your corner for your recruiting process, the combination of those two, does that help you focus more on what needs to be done on the field and in the classroom, since you really don't have to worry about emailing schools, contacting coaches constantly, that you can kind of have this team of your high school coach, LPG, and your club coaches, obviously all working towards the same goal? How does that make you feel as a player?
So I think sometimes in the recruiting process you can seem lost as you're on your own, but I think having like a professional coach and professionals all around me to help email and help me keep motivated really helps me to gain my confidence and feel like I'm really getting somewhere along the track, because obviously it's a long time to get recruited. It takes a while, and so having the people behind you and always pushing you forward can help you seem like you're on the right track.
So talk to me about your club coaches. I know that they've been impactful for you as well. Talk to me about them and the experience that you've had.
I think this year, this has probably one of been my strictest club coaches, and I like that because he's really taught me a lot about how to play the game. Because before, a lot of my club coaches were more lenient and less strict, but I think having a strict coach like my coach this year has really helped me to become a better player on and off the field as well, and just helped me to develop my game even further than before.
So let me re-ask that question, but I want you to answer. You can give him credit. Tell me who it is and tell me your club, because that's what we're going to do. So if we post it on social, we're going to be like, Caden Marchione talks about his club coach, insert name here, and his club team, insert club here. So again, I'll ask the question. Tell me about your club team. Tell me about your club coach and how they've helped with your development as a player.
All right, my club coach at BVB ECNL 04, Dave Hudgel, has taught me a lot about becoming a smart player on and off the field. He's a really strict guy, but I think that's great for my team and I, as it teaches me to become a great player on and off the field and be a leader. And it also tells me like how to play smartly and how to play smart and how to do the right thing.
So some things that we've talked to scouts and coaches about you specifically as a player is your ability to play with both feet and your vision. Can you touch on those two things for me, and how you have become so advanced at those two skill sets?
I would say playing as a defensive mid and in the back line has taught me a lot about playing balls to the top and how to play long. And I think under the pressure of a high press, you learn how to use your both feet. So that's taught me to always keep my head up and look long. And it's taught me to find long passes, short passes, anywhere on the field, and it's helped me to keep my vision strong.
Why do you love soccer so much? What do you love about the game that makes you keep coming back each and every day and continue to work so hard?
I would say probably the bonds I form with my teammates, because everyone just says like, oh, they just have fun kicking the ball around. But I think like what really inspired me to keep on going is like it's like playing with my 11 best friends out on the field. Like I never have to worry about what I'm gonna do or if they're gonna support me. Like I know they're always gonna be there, and it always keeps me motivated to keep my skills up, to keep up with them and even lead the team.
You touched on this earlier, but where do you see the most improvement in yourself? It could be soccer related or non-soccer related, from before you signed with LPG compared to now. Where do you think the most improvement has been for you personally or on the field?
I would say my most improvement would be my confidence and my ability to be a leader, because with LPG and having a lot of professional coaches on my back, they've taught me a lot of life lessons and how to see myself on the field. And I think that if I can set an example for my teammates, I can really become a leader on the field and off the field as well.
What have you learned about social media and how it really does have an impact on the college recruiting process?
It's a lot with COVID. A lot of college coaches have been stuck at home or not able to go out and see players. So I think having an active role on social media helps college coaches to see you off the field, because obviously on the field they're just going to see a player who knows how to play, but social media helps to review my character to them and show them like who I am truly.
So I know you've been to at least one LPG Pro session. In the session that you were there, you did really well. Talk to me a little bit about LPG Pro sessions and why they're a little bit different than your normal training. Obviously, touching on the small groups and being able to work with professionals, basically one-on-one.
Yeah, so I would say having a small group of elite players really helps you to improve like drastically more. As instead of being in a large group, we're focusing on more of a broader spectrum. The LPG helps you to focus on my individual skills, which then I can later apply to a team effort. So I think really having that individualness inside LPG helps me to become a better player.
Very good. Very good.